Now that's what I'm talking about. Welcome to Cannondale Studio. Today we've got a super nice history of mountain bike engineering as well. It is a Cannondale Super V Raven 900 SX model. I've been searching for this model in such condition for quite a few years, and when I found it just a couple of days ago, I decided to buy it just like that. So I did, and I brought it just 2 days ago to our Cannondale Studio. I'd like to tell you a bit more about this bikes because it was a really nice work of Cannondale some 15 years ago. There were two different generations, the first one and the second one, and Raven was being produced from 1998 till 2001, so not that long, it was just 4 years, but the bike looks so cool. I just had to have one on our studio. Alright, Cannondale, when they released this model, they called it the organic approach, meaning that just like a human body, this frame set was going to have a skeleton and the skin. And so the skeleton for the first generation of Raven was made of aluminum, and the skin out of carbon, of course. The second generation has also a carbon fiber for the skin, but this one is thermoplastic, so it will be lighter and thinner. Let me tell you that about that just in a minute. The aluminum skeleton for the first generation of the bike, this one is the second one, was going to handle all the in-load forces, all the vertical forces. When you're on the bike, when you're hitting the road and just going through the rough terrain, that's the spine that is inside. You can see the spine here. You will also hear this is aluminum, or it's not aluminum in this generation, but it was the aluminum in the first generation, and that's the carbon fiber. So the spine goes just like this. And it holds the carbon fiber, the skin holds on into a special like tunnels in the spine, and it's glued, of course, so it's a very strong connection, and the spine makes a secure assembly for the headset, for our seat post clamp, then for the shock absorber here, and for the pivot of our swing arm, and of course the bottom bracket. So all these parts will be handled by the spine, and then we have the skin that will handle the torsional forces, the horizontal forces. Of course, when we are pedaling, the carbon fiber will make all the power transfer from the pedals to the rear wheel. The look of the bike is just so cool. It's really cool. And Cannondale said that for the first generation, this frame set was like around 250 grams lighter than the Super V Active. A cool bike, cool looking as well, very, very original, outstanding. But 250 grams saved for the first generation of Cannondale Raven. And then the second generation of Cannondale Raven was even around 590 grams lighter than the first one. So it was already just around, you know, below 1 kilogram lighter than the Super V Active. What's changed for the second generation? The second generation didn't have the aluminum spine anymore. It was the magnesium one. So magnesium one locked in a power coating, double power coating, and then we have the carbon fiber skin, but the skin was thermoplastic. So it was a different kind of carbon fiber and resin, and also the thermoplastic one was thinner. So magnesium plus thinner skin, a lighter bike. How can you distinguish between a first and a second generation? Well, it is quite easy. If you look at Cannondale Raven, if you just Google that up, you will see that this second generation looks more like oversized frame, and the first one is just a bit thinner, and also the main tube, let's call it the main tube in the first generation, has just one little curve from the down bearing, the bottom bearing from the headset to the bottom bracket, it just goes like this in one little one huge curve. And the second generation has two, as you can see, 1 and 2. So the second one is more like a waved one, and the first one makes an like one bend. Then also Cannondale said that they gave us 2 additional sets of the bolts for the bottle cage. So we have 1, 2, and then the third one is just under the frame. It's right here. But I don't know why they say that in the catalog, 2000 year catalog, because 2 sets of these bolts were already on the first generation. But of course there was no third one on the bottom surface of the frame. So 3 sets of the bolts for the bottle cage. That will be another thing that came up in the second generation, Raven second generation, and of course the swing arm, once again lighter Cat 4. So if you see the swing arm, Cat 4 swing arm, of course for the disc brakes, that will be the second generation of Raven. But I think that for the second generation, for Raven 2, it would also come in the like cheaper version with the not Cat 4 swing arm. I think so, but if you see Cat 4, you can be sure this is the second generation of Raven. So we have the hollow tubes here and just lighter system, asymmetrical as well. You can see that both sides of this swing arm just look differently. Alright, so that was the Cannondale Raven, and also you can always see what year it was just by looking at the serial numbers. I hope you can see that here. Let me show you. The bottom line here is like KHR00108. The first letter is the year that the bike was produced in. It's K, and that should be 99. As I said, it came in 98, so that would be J, and then J, K, L, M. L would be 2000, and M would be 2001. The second generation came in 2000, and we can see by K here, but by this letter here, that this one was produced in 99, but it was already a second generation. This is at least what I think how it was being done. This is the second generation for sure, but produced in 99. And the other thing I cannot find anywhere on Cannondale website or catalogs, old catalogs, is also the fork, because this is a fatty D. Fatty D means that, of course, headstock, means that we have 60 millimeters of travel, coil spring with oil damping and a full lockout, of course. That's the one here, that's the lockout. But coil spring, and on Cannondale documents you can find that Fatty D was produced in 1998, and then in 1999 came Super Fatty D, which was already not a coil spring but air spring with 70 millimeters. Now this one is upgradable to 70 millimeters, but it doesn't say Super Fatty here. And also, if we look just here on the bottom of this steering tube, there is no valve, so we can be sure this is a coil spring. And that's something strange. I cannot really understand that, because this is original, that nothing was changed on this bike. So it came up with the second generation, like 2000 model of the frame, and the Fatty D that was produced in 1998 and maybe 1999, but this one already 2000 and being produced in 1999. So I give you all these informations because if you're looking for a Raven, it's really worthy to be looking for these bikes in good condition, because some people who collect these would also pay you a lot of money for these bikes. But this is also a really nice piece of history of Cannondale and having this bike on your wall and doing sometimes some cool rides will be just awesome stuff. Alright, so second generation magnesium spine, thermoplastic, thinner, much thinner walls of our carbon fiber. And what can I tell you more? In the rear we have the Fox Vanilla shock, which gives us in this setup 80 millimeters. So we should have 80 millimeters in the rear and 60 millimeters in the front. The bike, just as you can see the bike right now, it weighs 12.7 kilos, something around 12.7, 12.6, 12.7. The saddle isn't original and the handlebar isn't original. I just put some handlebar for now, and I'm looking for a Coda, original Coda handlebar, because there was some like crazy riser on this one. Super original Coda bar ends. I love this one. I think these were called Babu 2. I'd like to have these on my Killer, but I don't know if I'll let this one go with the bar ends. And the saddle isn't original. And now two things to know. We can see some additional tube for the seat post here, and this was the action that Cannondale had to call owners just to the Cannondale bike dealers to replace this. I don't know whether the clamp was replaced as well, but originally there was no tube here, some additional tube, but it wasn't made well, so they had to fix this. So this is a fixed version. That means that the owner of this bike was called and went to Cannondale shop to fix this one. And also here on the bottom of this frame you can see something sealed up and some little holes here, and it was also something being done by Cannondale. They were fixing, I don't know, was it the joint of the bottom bracket and the spine, or the spine and the carbon fiber here? There was something being made here, and the owner of this bike came also to fix this one. So when you're buying the second generation, make sure whether it has additional tube here and whether something was being done here that makes the frame just, you know, safe. I'm gonna do some fun ride on this bike, so you'll have the video about this one on the terrain. Also, if you want to distinguish the year of the model, you can look at the logo. This new logo, this is the newest one. It came in 2000, so it's still same logo. When you look at Cannondale Cat 10 2015 model, same C, same one. So this one came in 2000, so this bike must be a 2000 model. So the logo is 2000, but the serial number shows us a 99, and it's quite logic, you know. Bikes for 2000 were being produced in 99. Alright guys, if you have any questions, put them below. If you ride these bikes, just let us know. If you've been making some videos on your Ravens, put your in the comments below. I'll be happy to see this. That's it for this video. Cheers, and we'll see you soon in another episode. Bye bye.